Okay, so for verse and devotion today, we're going over Revelation chapter 20, verses 13 through 15. And this is still talking about the hard truth of hell and how can reading the Bible and attending church help you learn more about hell and the hard truth of it. Well, again, these verses are talking in Revelation about hell, literally hell, okay? So let me read these. It starts with verse 13. The sea gave up the dead that were in it, and death and Hades gave up the dead that were in them. And each person was judged according to what he had done. So all these particular areas, all these people came out of them for that particular moment in time so that they could be judged, okay, by God the Father, all right? Verse 14 says, Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. All right? The lake of fire is the second death. If anyone's name was not found written in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire. So the lake of fire is like the ultimate destination of hell, is the way I understand it. And death and Hades, all those people were given up. People that had already died, that were dead and that were in hell, were coming up and being judged. This is actual judgment day. So if you read in Revelation, it talks about the judgment, okay, the big judgment day. And everybody was being judged. They always say, well, I shouldn't say they always say, the Bible says that there will be a day that every knee will bow, every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. And that's, in essence, what this is. And the second death is where they're basically put back, and it's the lake of fire. So, and the lake of fire is hell in essence. I don't know how to describe it in the sense of outside of hell. It's a lake of fire that's always burning, always consuming, doesn't go out, doesn't stop. It's eternal fire, eternal what they call damnation. And that's, in essence, what this is. And if you're saying, well, what's that book of life thing? Well, that one's actually easier and much more fun for me to explain. When you ask Christ to come and live inside of you and you want a relationship with him, immediately, and I don't know how he does it, I'm human, my brain doesn't work in that whole spiritual realm thing. I just know that I have the faith and I believe this, that your name is written in what he calls the book of life. And if your name is in that book of life, that's awesome. That's the best thing ever. It means that you had asked Jesus in your heart. You accepted him for who he was and who he says he is. And it's in there. So you don't go to hell. You don't go to the lake of fire. You don't have to deal with the second death or anything like that. So again, it's as blunt as I can be. Hell is real, and it's hot, and Revelation is future. Okay, we don't know. We can study, we can predict, but I don't know all the details of Revelation. I listen to different people and, have ideas, but when I read this word tells me that death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. And the second death, people were thrown into the lake of fire. So hell is real. And regardless whether you know the ins and the outs of all the details in Revelation, that to me at this point is irrelevant. It's the point that I'm just trying to express to you that hell is real. And you do have a 50-50 shot here. You're either going to go to heaven or you're going to go to hell. There's no in between. It is that cut and dry. It's that black and white. That's how it is. And there's been enough evidence in the Bible. I mean, it's written and written and written in there over and over and over again. I mean, I've got, good night, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 verses just here, and there's even more. It's just these are the ones that I picked out and chose. So, hell is real. Just make sure you don't go there. make sure that your name is written in that book of life.